Happy Sunday. That is Patrick with Light Source Engraving.
That is Steve, the hobo with wood.
And that's Rich, the Louisiana hobby guy.
And together we are the Laser Makers Realm.
Welcome, everybody. Hope you're having a great Sunday. I see we got a bunch of people already here. We've got Army Dogs Creations, as usual, from the West Coast. We've got Minnesota Maker, V-Rich 3733, Chicago Bob, William Bullock, Jerry with 3DHP. Thank you for sharing, Jerry. We appreciate that. Jack in the shop.
Hey, Jack.
David Elder. Hi, David. How's it going, bud? Sharon Simonson. Andrea C. Welcome, everybody, and hopefully a bunch more people are going to join. We're not going to hold up the stream like a lot of other people do when they go live and say, well, let's wait for some more people and dilly-dally around the shop. Nope, we just go live, and if you missed the beginning, you can watch the replay, I guess.
Yep.
So,
it ain't like they didn't know we were going to be here.
That's for sure.
Yeah, we haven't missed one yet since we started.
Say again?
We haven't missed one yet since we started.
We haven't, no. And we haven't slowed down the beginning of one since we started either. I never could figure out how or why people would do that. I watched one just the other night where I had to tune out after 10 minutes waiting for people to join. The important people are already here. Let's get started. So in today's stream, you've already seen we've got the Easter Gnome just in time for Easter. Let me get a little bit closer with this camera so you can see this better. This is my Easter Gnome. It is three-dimensional, but cut out of one piece of wood. So it's a little take on wood that you probably haven't seen before. And I also never got this project up in time, but this is my St. Patrick's Day gnome, and this guy is the same way, three-dimensional, all cut out of one piece of wood.
And Rich, you say it's one piece of wood, but what size is that one piece of wood?
Well, it can be done on, let me take a look and see, hang on a second.
Because I do that too. I try to, when I do the designs, I keep in mind that most of the guys are working with a little desktop, so I try to do it in a 12 by 12 or 300 by 300 square.
Oh, well, it's well within that. So it's the entire project, and it's not really nested that well. It is 196 by 257.
Oh yeah, so about any desktop, that's a piece of cake.
Yeah, yep. So that's almost 8 inches by 10 inches, something like that. So pretty much any type of wood that you've got.
He looks taller. He looks taller than that.
What's that?
Your little hobo, or not hobo. Your little hobo. Your little gnome. He looks bigger than that. He looks bigger than. He looks like.
Let's see how big he is.
That's because the camera adds weight.
Yeah. That's 10 pounds.
He is 7.5 inches top to bottom.
Okay.
So, and that's my little Louisiana hobby guy multi-tool. It's got a built-in tape measure. Yeah, 7.5 inches top to bottom. And you can paint them any way that you want. You absolutely don't have to use my way of painting them because I'm really not good at this kind of stuff. So, you can paint them any way you want. We're going to have a drawing today. It's not going to cost anything to enter, no donation required, nothing like that. We're just going to have a specific phrase that you have to type into the comments a little later on in the stream. And hopefully today we're going to keep today's stream. We know that it's Sunday. The weather's starting to get nice in a lot of places. So we're going to keep the stream down to about an hour today. And I just wanted to mention that this is a Q&A. So the things that we do along with the Q&A are just like bonus stuff. So whatever questions that you've got, feel free to ask them because that's really what we're here for today. This is more of a question. It's supposed to be a question and answer session, but it seems that it's not. And Bob's jumped right in there. He queued right up. So here's his question for today. He just upgraded his LaserMaster 2 Pro 5.5 watt module to the LU2-10A and was wondering if he could use the material. Yes, you can. So any of the 10-watt optical output material libraries that are on my forum, you can use for any 10-watt diode laser. It's all the same. When you see a manufacturer's name for instance, like you see the Ortour, 40 watt, 5-watt optical output, that's good for any 5-watt laser. The reason why it has the Ortour name is simply because I got the original settings in there from their white paper. So whatever white paper they distributed with the laser, some cut setting suggestions, that's what I put into a library and posted to the forum. Some of them are going to be better than others. Some of them I've tested and made adjustments to, like for instance, the NAJ A4640. That one I created from scratch, and those are all my exact file settings.
It'd be nice if you can get a library like that and never have to bother testing. You can just put the library in, but that don't work. You still need to test.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's not ever gonna work.
Yeah.
Because what happens is my shop is different than your shop. The temperature, the humidity,
yep.
the person that I bought my wood from uses different glue than the one that you bought your wood from. So none of that ever works. So Carl is saying that he was supposed to get my files along with his Rolly, and yes, you don't actually get them along with it. I don't think they're going to be packaged on the USB until next month. But if you email leo@rollyautomation.com, Carl, he'll be glad to send you the late. And I think he still has the version 1 file. The version 3 file is going to be coming out next week. So if you just email Leo, he'll send you out a copy of that CLB file for your Lasermatic 10. Diane says she got her Rolly Lasermatic on Wednesday.
Y'all make me jealous.
Up and ready for your videos, finishing up the light burn videos. As a total newbie, what other videos do you recommend I watch? I recommend that you watch all of the laser engraving, light burn videos that you possibly can. The more you watch, the more you learn. The more you learn, the better your projects are going to come out. And I also wanted to say something as well. I've had a rash of people lately, I'd say in the last 3 months, and even this morning I've got 2 in my inbox of people with files that they bought off of Etsy that don't work. Hey, listen, don't join my Patreon to get me to fix your Etsy files, because that's not what I do. Joining Patreon just helps to support the effort. And if you have an odd problem that comes up, I'm glad to help you with it. But don't just join just to start sending me files from Etsy to fix, because I won't do it. So I have said for a very long time, and I think I've said it in a couple of my videos, that caveat emptor, buyer beware. If you're going to buy files off of Etsy, then buyer beware, because you're getting files that number one were either designed by somebody who's a graphic artist, or they were just copied from the web and pasted and exported as a DXF or an SVG or something like that, and they're selling them to you, or you may even be buying my files. I found out yesterday that there are 2 manufacturers that are not selling, but giving away my files with their machines. But that doesn't really bother me so much. But if you're buying files off Etsy, buyer beware. Don't contact me and ask me to fix them, because that's not what Patreon is all about. And I even have people that ask me to fix their files that aren't patrons, and I don't know why in the world you would think I would have time for that. I get, if I totaled all my emails, probably 400 or 500 emails a day, and a lot of those get filtered out into mailboxes that I never even look at. So if you're sending an email or a private message from the forum, I'm not going to get it. So don't even bother. The forum is created to post your issues and get them answered by the community of laser engravers. So, sending me the private notes, I don't even get those. Those go into a mailbox that's completely unattended. But yeah, so that's the whole thing. Buying on Etsy, you better be ready to fix those files. They're really not hard to fix in most cases. In most cases, all you're going to have to do is a little bit of node editing or something like that, and that's basically it. So let's see. Any recommendations on flattening warped Baltic birch or basswood plywood 2 to 3 millimeters? Well, I don't know about the other guys. The way I do it is I spray them down with a little bit of water and on one side, and then I put that side facing down, and I put the rest of the wood on top of it with something heavy on top. And usually a couple of days later, when I move that one from the bottom to the top, it's flat. But when you're using really thin wood, it's going to warp constantly back and forth in both directions. So you're never really going to be able to get the warp out of it. I stack mine up on a shelf, and usually there's 25 or 30 pounds of wood, and I only take off the bottom. And even when I take off the bottom, if I don't take it off the bottom when I'm ready to use it, if I let it sit out for 30 or 40 minutes, it'll start to warp on its own because of the
humidity
climate in here. Yeah. And even though it is AC controlled, the climate underneath that stack of wood is different than the climate out in the open air. So it'll just start to react to the climate that's here. So I don't know about you guys. And I am going to switch cameras now. I'm going to show you what I've got on the workbench today. And that is the Creality Falcon 2. And that's what I'm doing these gnomes on. So I'm going to run a job on the gnomes. And let me show you how I frame this, because that's on the other side of the shop. So I'm going to go into Lightburn that you can't see off screen. I'm going to put my mouse over the word frame and walk over to that other laser. And some of you may appreciate this. Inside here, I've got a mouse, and Steve said to me, well, why don't you put a piece of tape under the bottom? So I did that. So all I do is turn this mouse on. It's a wireless mouse. It's connected to my computer. And I press the button, and it's going to frame the job. And that looks pretty good. I'll turn the mouse back off and drop it back in there. So I just wanted to quickly share with you an easy way to do this if you have your laser across the room, or maybe even in the next room.
I think I'm going to do a demonstration on acrylic with a CO2 Galvo today. So I'm going to get it started and let it run in the background. But I'll show you, it's framing at the moment. So it's going to be a 35 millimeter round little pendant.
Oh, this is the one that you sent me an email about. The pictures in the
I got pictures of this posted on Facebook, but this is acrylic, and I can show some other pictures, or just look on my Facebook. Links in the comments. But what I'm going to make is this one right here, which is different, and just wait till you see what happens to that acrylic. Fun to watch.
By the way, this Creality Falcon 2 has got, you can see that little red light flashing on the module. that means that the air assist is not working. Well, it is working, but it's not on right now. So as soon as I start the job, that light's going to go off because the air assist is going to come on. And then the light all the way off to the right side over there is the lens. There is a little sensor inside there that when it gets dirty, that light will turn yellow and then red, which means it's time to clean your lens. So nice little feature on
That's
this.
nice. Yeah.
I'm going to start this job now because we know that we've got it framed okay. And you can see all the lights are green now. Now that does have, I do have the exhaust going in the back of that tent. You just can't see it. If I zoom out a little bit, you'll see the exhaust coming out the side there. So I've just temporarily hooked it up to that tent so that I can do the testing on this machine. And by the way, this is a 22 watt. So this will be in the battle of the 20 watts. And that video will probably come in May, because when I originally announced it, all of a sudden, all of the manufacturers want to send me their 20 watt laser. So I have a whole bunch more to get tested. So let's see, Bob is saying he purchased my Japanese Dragon and kept running into a problem. The left wing shows up perfectly in the preview, but the right wing is solid black. I don't know, I'd have to look at that. I've done that Dragon a few dozen times. It's probably one of your layers. So when you bring that file in, it doesn't necessarily bring the layers in properly. I think one of the wings is engraved, if I'm not mistaken. No, both of the wings. No, the wings should not be engraved. They should just have the line engraves on them. So yeah, I'm not sure what it's got to be. One of your layers is off. So try switching from fill to line, and that should solve that problem.
We had another question higher up in the feed you missed is there is no substitute. It says he has I guess the LaserMaster 2 Pro S2 using the SF head. His text engraves great in the middle, but gets lighter on the outer edges. The belts are good, bed is level. I've tried adjusting speed and power. Any suggestions about not getting a uniform burn on its tech? And
yeah, add some more overscan to the layer.
Increase overscans. I don't use overscan a lot.
No, then you're not going to get really impressive engravings. When you're scanning, like let's say on the 0 level, you need to have enough overscan on there to be able to get the same amount of burn on the edges as you do in the middle. So I usually recommend anywhere from 3 to 6%, depending on the laser. On the Rolly, it's 5%. On my Tours, it's 4%. So yeah, increase your overscan. That should solve that problem.
I've been, when I use it, I'm usually at 2.5.
2.5 is good. Yeah, 2.5 is like a good number for almost every laser. So you don't have to use it on the CO2. You don't have it on the CO2 because if you have a Rarita or Trosen or any of those controllers, it's automatically built into the controller.
So there is no substitute. Hopefully that helps. In fact, if you give that a try, I would love to know if that resolves your issue.
Yeah, I'd be willing to bet $1 that it'll resolve the issue right away.
Just $1?
Yeah, that's all I got today.
That's all I got today. It is here looking for more questions. Let's see here.
What is the best way to transfer Lightburn art and libraries? Yeah, so you already got the right answer from Patrick.
Yep, Patrick addressed that.
Yep.
And
in fact, I don't even keep my libraries on my hard drive. So all of my libraries are on my NAS. So I can change computers and still have all of my libraries intact. and not have to worry about them.
All right, so there is no substitute updated the name there. So Stacy B. So Stacy, if you, my email is hobowithwood@gmail.com. So after this live stream and you get back in the shop and you play with it, just email me, hobowithwood@gmail.com, and let me know if that resolves it. I don't want to wait till next week to find out.
I'm going to tell you that's going to resolve it. Trust me on that one. I have a heat press that I use to straighten out my warped wood. Oh, that's a good idea. A regular heat press. If you have one of those 15 by 15 heat presses for t-shirts, that's an excellent idea. I never even thought. I might even get a heat press just for that that reason. The only thing that I would think is that during the time that you go from the heat press to the laser and it starts doing the burn, it might
start twisting.
It might start warping again. I find magnets do the trick. So if you have a metal honeycomb bed and you've got good magnets, you're not going to have a problem with any of the wood.
The magnet bars that are used for, you bound them on the wall, and then you can put your tools on them. Those long bars from Harbor Freight are cheap, and they will straighten your plywood out. And you can also get them adjusted so they're perfect 90-degree angle and use them to index projects as well on the fly. Yeah. But this is one of my first attempts at this acrylic engraving.
That's cool.
But then here was one that
wow,
I was very happy with.
Yeah, that came out. It looks 3D printed.
Then I did a little Viking axe as a test.
Cool.
It's coming out pretty good from the CO2 Galvo. So I'm just going to run one today as a demo. I'll go ahead and get that started.
All right. So Jim Hamilton asked or comments he's got the OLM3. Has
Jim does not get along with Auteur.
He has enabled the laser fire button and laser on when framing. Is there something else to do to get the laser to fire when framing and also when centering?
Yeah, you have to close Lightburn and restart it right after you enable those options on some computers. So not all computers take that, take those commands, and I'm not sure why. Every computer I've used so far, it has taken the commands and the fire button was enabled immediately. But I've heard a lot of people say they've had to close the software and restart the software for those commands to take.
And GBWSF asked, what setting on the heat press are you using? I'm thinking kind of like the surface of the sun. Is that would that be good?
Yeah.
So whoever's using the heat press, maybe put in the comments just where you're setting your heat press. You low to medium, or how are you using it? And Moondog's asking me if I can make a video on doing the box hinges. Well, Moondog, I've actually already done that. I will find the link and post it there in the comments. I have a video just on, if you're talking about the living hinges, I've got a video dedicated just on creating living hinges. I'll find it and post it there.
So I think Sharon's saying that it's better if you let the wood cool off under the weight of the press, because you lock those closed.
Yeah.
So when you lock it, it puts a lot of pressure on it, and that's good. I would guess that probably whatever I guess the lowest setting might be something like maybe 90, or whatever the lowest setting is that's above your room temperature should be fine. I definitely wouldn't go doing 150 degrees on it.
Well, Sharon says she does 400 degrees for 60 seconds.
400 degrees for 60 seconds. Wow.
And then lets let it cool off under the weight of the machine.
Shut it off and let it cool down, huh?
Yeah, and Jim, you just have to do that one time. Once once you enable the fire button and then close out a light burn and come back on, you shouldn't have to do it again. It's just that one time. All right.
So for some reason, that fire light is on. I don't know why. I guess I'll have to disable that. But here is my little gnome guy. Oh, by the way, this is what a flat pack is. What you see here, guys. Can you guys see what I'm doing here?
Yeah.
So all of these parts that I've just cut out is what's called a flat pack. And what I'll be doing is today's giveaway at the end of the stream, we're going to shoot for an hour today. I'll be giving away 3 flat packs. So that will be this one that you see right here and 2 more. And these are all of the parts that are necessary to make this Easter gnome. Now, you might not get it in time for Easter because it'll take a few days to get there. So, but we will have the file for download, for free download, on the Laser Makers Realm website by the end of today. So you guys will be able to make these yourself, but we're also going to have the flat pack. Or we're going to give away 3 of these flat packs, and you're going to get all of these parts. They're going to come in the mail so that you can make this guy right here. And you'll definitely want to do your own paint job on this because I'm not good at painting these things up. But you can see that it's really 3-dimensional looking. It actually has like a little weight to it as well. And I think it looks really cool. Nice little, he's got the Easter bunny ears, he's holding the 3 Easter eggs. And this is a takeoff of which never actually published, my regular St. Patrick's Day gnome. And I've got gnomes for every holiday that there is.
Gnomes for every occasion.
Gnomes for every occasion. That's right. Even birthday gnomes.
Now, when you're going to ship those out, why would you not put tabs on it and just ship out the one piece of wood?
Well, because it takes up a much larger package. So I'm getting the flat packs into a 4x8.
Yeah. Okay.
So
That's my dilemma here. I've got to ship Spidey here from North Carolina to California, and I haven't figured out yet because it's painted, finished. I don't want anything touching the face of it, but yet I've got to secure that and get it across the country without scarring it, and it's fragile. I can't have it breaking.
Well, when I do things like that, Steve, I have these signs that I got. Let me show you one. They're sort of multi-purpose. I use them for finishing, and I also use them for mailers. So you see it right here. This is my finishing one, and this is a political sign.
The corrugated plastic.
Corrugated plastic sign. Yep. Yeah. That you use like for politics and stuff.
Right.
And you can get them reasonably cheap on Amazon. I think it was only something like $17 for 50. You know, if they're not printed or anything like that. And they're reasonably cheap on Amazon. You can see I've got one behind me on the wall here that I use for my whiteboard up above the rolly there. And there's all kinds of purposes for them. And when I ship stuff, I'll cut the piece the size of the actual item that I'm shipping, 2 pieces, and I'll put one on either side and just wrap the piece in tissue paper. Put one on either side, put it in the package, and ship it. There's no way you can bend that. And it's also corrugated, so you can hit it with a hammer, and it's going to take the impact.
Yeah. And so while y'all are getting y'all's ready, the file I'm giving away today is another door hanger, and I've had fun with that this week. And for all the folks out there my age or older, they're going to know immediately what this is. But for the younger folks, and not the Headbangers. It's a play on AC/DC,
Oh,
Highway to
look, a
Hell.
squirrel.
Huh?
Oh, look, a squirrel.
Yeah, but this is not AC/DC. It's ADHD, Highway to Hell. And I can't say it because every time I do, my dog gets really excited. But this file,
a squirrel.
this file, I'm going to have free to everybody watching on the channel or watching the live stream today. All you have to do is go to my website, which is hobowithwood.com, and then go into the digital files, and you're going to use the coupon code ADHDLMR. ADHDLMR. And that will, anybody watching today, that coupon will be good for until the end of the day tomorrow. So for the next 24 hours, 48 hours, whatever, you'll be able to download that file for free. And then I'm also going to do another bonus giveaway here at the end.
With a private coupon.
Yeah, a lot more than just this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, we're gonna have a bunch of draws at the end of the video today, and we're gonna shoot for just another 30 minutes of live today. We just want to be able to answer all the questions, provide you with some files, and make this like a worthwhile watch for everybody out there. A lot of people have been saying the streams are too long, but
we're not forcing you to watch.
Okay, so Jim is asking very quickly where I store my art library. Jim, it's hard to explain this, but I have a NAS, which is it's sort of like a computer. It's about half the size of a computer, and it's got 8 hard drives in it, and it's a network storage unit. And that's where I store all of my files, not just my libraries, but all of my files. And this way, no matter what happens, I can bring my laptop in, turn it on, and it automatically connects to the network storage. So all of my files are kept on 8 separate hard drives. It's actually 4 hard drives that are mirrored. So if anything happens to a hard drive, it has a clone of the other hard drive. So it's really hard to explain, but if you Google the letters NAS and then put storage after that, you'll get a good idea of what it is. It's just a network storage device. It's sort of like a flash drive that you plug in, except it has its own software on it that keeps everything. It's got a media server, and it's got a file server for FTP. I can access it from the road, different things like that. But you can Google what is a NAS.
I store mine on Google Drive. That way I can just quickly access it from anywhere, even my phone. So if somebody needs a file, I can just send them a link.
Yeah, I started using Google Drive. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not shared with everyone, but individual files I can. Yeah, exactly. That's what I do. My giveaway. I'm not going to give away these rotary jigs that are already made, but I will be giving away a set of the files to make them. So you will get the files, so you can cut your own rotary jigs for the business cards, wallets, and pens and pencils.
Cool.
So these are the ones I demoed last week, or last live stream 2 weeks ago. So somebody will win the cut files today.
Steve.
Yeah.
What was the ADHD code again? I
got it in the comments, and it's real simple. It's ADHD and LMR for Laser Maker's Realm. ADHD LMR, but it's there in the description or in the comments. And on the same topic that Patrick just brought up about, he's doing the files. One of our regulars, Moondog, he's commented that he's in the UK, so if he wins your flat pack, it's going to be a lot to post it to him. So maybe instead of doing a post, he's the laser. Maybe you just send him the file. Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah. So
yeah, anything that's overseas, I'll be sending the file instead of the flat plaque.
So you're not out of luck there, Moondog.
Yeah. Yeah.
And one other thing, why if you go to Hobo with Wood for free files, we've got the ADHD will be free for the next 24 hours
With people
but,
with the code.
With the code. But also, I do have and I use the heck out of these. This my glue up clamps. I have a version of my clamp that's free to download, and there's no expiration on it. It's just free to download. But I've got a different version with my handle grips on it, and it's a lot easier to use. I charge $1 for it. So look for that free file while you're there, or buy something. But this is something else. Did I show you this yet, Rich?
Yeah, you showed it to me briefly the other day.
Business card holder. That's pretty cool. There's your living hinge, Moondog.
And I've got, when we were discussing those business card holders, I went and looked through my drive, and I found my old business card holder that does not hold any business cards. So I'm not going to tell you what the trick is to it, but that's going to be a video coming up this week on my channel. It's going to be a free file as well. A business card holder that holds no business cards. There's a little trick to it. You'll see when the video comes out. Steve already knows what the trick is. Be quiet now.
I've got one in my hand right here, and I thought,
do not show that.
I'm not sure, but that's why it was sitting here. I was planning on showing it, so I'm gonna set it down over here out of the way now. So,
all right, let's get back to the questions real quick.
Yeah.
So, Krista in Florida is saying flat rate mail is the best option, biggest box, lots of bubble wrap. Yeah, that is a good option. It's very slow. Call says he has a neighbor with squirrel problems that would love that. Everyone's going to get a chance to win it. I just want to make sure that before we get into the contest itself, that we get through the Q&A, because that's really what this live stream is a Q&A. So I don't want, and this week's raffle is going to be automated for anybody that's here in the live today. And there's just something special that you have to type in order to be in the contest.
You must be present to win.
And you must be present to win. Yeah, so that's another thing too.
And you have 24 hours to get your email address.
Right.
To one of us, whoever decides to collect those.
Yeah.
Or get your mailing address or whatever.
All
yeah.
Right.
So basically the way it's going to work is whoever the winners are, you have to be present to win, because we'll give you the email address at the end of the drawings to send your name and address to, like for me, for the files that have to be mailed out. And you'll have to send your email address to either Steve or Patrick for those other files. So you got to be present to win. So you'll hear that special email address to send your email address to. And you got to do that within 24 hours. Because we get really backed up on all the emails that we get from people.
Patrick's doing the engraving with his laser there, and we've got a question from I'll say it wrong, Malverde Designs. I don't know if that's right or not. Do we want to know if we have a video on cutting and engraving acrylic? Well, which laser do you have? You know, as far as doing an engraving, I've not done any engraving with my diode. I've done cutting. But we need to know what laser you're working with there. Is it a fiber? Is it diode?
Well, both of them can do.
Or a galvo.
I actually have a video on my
on
channel.
Screen now?
I actually have a video on my channel where I do both in the same video. One on the CO2, one on the diode.
You've done 3D engraving like he's done there with your diode?
Not 3D engraving, no.
Okay, yeah.
Acrylic engraving. Thank you, Moondog, for that donation. We appreciate it.
Yep.
And let's see, who was it that just made that point? I scrolled right by it. Kenny. So Kenny makes a good point here. So for Jim on that laser on when framing. If you go to
Oh.
the move tab and it's set to 0, the fire button itself, it will not turn on the laser when framing. So you have to go to the move tab and you have to set the fire button to 1%. Then it will fire during framing. And that's a good point,
Yeah.
Kenny.
Thanks, Kenny.
Thanks for
Yeah.
mentioning that, because that's something that I actually did on this Creality. I'm saying, hey, why isn't this turning on? And that's exactly what it was.
Yeah. Thanks for that heads up. We all missed that.
Mike, Smith, Texas Laser Works is late as usual. Well, we'll let you go this time, Mike. Welcome.
We've had a few donations today already. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for the donations, everyone. We really appreciate it. Go straight to the guys so that they can buy supplies.
Andrea says she's has the hardest time getting engraving first, then the cut. She says she has the engraving layer set first and then the cut layer second, but I guess it's still struggling. I don't understand how that could be.
Could be in our optimization settings. If
yeah.
she has it order by group or layer.
Aha.
So what it's going to be is it should, on your cuts and layers tab, as long as you have the cut at the bottom, it should be the last thing to cut. But you do want to just jump into your optimization settings and make sure you check the box that says cut inner shapes first, because that could be a problem. It might be cutting those inner shapes in a different order. Who knows? But as long as you have cut inner shapes first and just the regular standing settings in the optimization window, you should be good. If your cut layer is at the bottom of the cuts and layers window.
And Carl, we don't keep. I don't think we're keeping any kind of running database. So if you're, Carl,
no, we're not.
Yeah, if you're ever each time you're winner, we need that information. That way we know to send who we're sending it out to and what we're sending out.
Oh, Jim is saying that he's wanting to share a hotel room with somebody at LBX in October. So if anybody wants to share a room, you can email me, the LA Hobby Guy at gmail.com, and I will let Jim know the details if you'd like to share a room with Jim. So Jim's looking for a roommate for the LBX, the Lightburn convention.
Jim, if you were Jane, I might holler at you, but I'm gonna hold off.
How's the 8s been working for you? DJS 751 is asking about the 8s. The 8s is a great laser in my opinion. However, when they sent me the 35 watt, they must have been something wrong with the wiring, because it blew the control board. So now the 20 watt doesn't even work. They just sent me, as a matter of fact, it's right there behind me in that box up there. They just sent me a new control board and a new wiring harness. So I don't know what happened there, but I will get started on the 35 watt testing probably in the next 2 weeks or so. I do have to get through all of these 20 watts that I have here first, so I can get that battle of the 20 watts done by May. Any suggestion on working with bamboo cutting boards? Yeah, don't. Hot and fast. The biggest problem that people have with the bamboo cutting boards, you'll see if you look at some of my older videos, I don't necessarily have that problem, because I go very hot and I go fast. It's when your power is low, when you're using 50-60% power, and you're moving at a normal speed, you're going to have problems with bamboo cutting boards being all different shades of gray, and that's because of the constant switching of the grains in the wood. But the hotter you go, the less chance you're going to have of having inconsistent burns on the bamboo. So it has to be hot, and it has to be a little bit faster than normal. That's how I achieve success with that.
And T-Man says, where in Lightburn do you find the setting to burn 2 joined lines at one time? Well, T-Man, if you're talking about you've actually overlapped the lines, You go into your optimization settings, and there's an option there for remove overlapping lines.
Yes.
But you do need to make sure that you've got those right on top of each other and not past overlapping. But if you've either not nested them, but you've got them butted right up against each other, that's real easy. I do that constantly. That is a huge time saver.
Patrick, Jerry is saying thanks for stopping by yesterday.
Oh, you're welcome, Jerry.
Yeah, yesterday was a bad day for me, Jerry. Saturdays are usually a bad day for me. That's why I don't stream on Saturdays. But I try and pop in whenever I can. Okay, we're at, we got, what, 15 minutes left?
And thanks for having me, Jerry. All right, there is.
Okay, so hang on one second. Florida, okay, Kristen in Florida is running at 7,000 millimeters per minute, 50%, 2.5%, overlapping Atom Stack X30 Pro. And what is that on bamboo?
Yeah.
Okay, on bamboo, I would go a lot hotter than 50%. Let's see, with the X30, I'd probably be somewhere around 70 or 75 at least. And then what you want to do to get the right, you want to use the highest amount of power that you can without overburning it at the highest speed that you can. So that's how I do bamboo.
And Mike, you docking, if you're doing two flat lines, docking is easy peasy. Yeah. But if you're going to be doing like I can't show, well, I can show this side of it. If I'm doing a box and I'm doing the fingers and tabs, I can actually bring those in, grab the node, and actually bring two pieces, interlock them together. And docking doesn't work for that. Not always. That's tough to do, but dragging the nodes in and position them right into position.
Yeah, if you interlock those, it's going to be a very loose fit though, so I wouldn't do that.
Well, on some of my projects where it's the freebie boxes, my donation boxes, I'll do that. I've got donation boxes for rescue groups, and I glue them up. It's not something that's got to be really precise.
Yeah, I always want my tabs to be larger than my slots, slightly larger. Flip that box over, Jack says.
Can't. I plan to, Jack, but I think that has something to do with what Rich is going to be doing on his no business card holder.
No, it's not. No? Okay, so here is the code. So if we're going to start this now, because we only have 10 minutes left in the stream today. So if you want either one of my flat packs, which is not really a flat pack, Steve brought up a good point, because I do cut these all the way out. I don't use the tabs and bridges. But if you want one of my flat packs of a gnome, an Easter gnome, then, or if you want some of Steve's files, and Steve is about to announce what files he's going to be including. I think it's a 24-hour all-inclusive pass on your store, right?
Yep. Right now, I just launched the Hobo with Wood this month, so I think there's 19 or 20 files on there. There may be a few more before the end of the day. But yeah, I'm going to do 3 coupons to 3 lucky people. That'll be 100% free for 24 hours. You can download whichever files you want.
And then Patrick is going to have the 2 files that are for his jigs. So this week's raffle is going to be for 3 gnomes, 3 Easter gnomes. And you know what? I think I'm going to include the file as well by email for the regular St. Patrick's Day gnome that you can use next year. Keep it in your files for next year. So you'll get 2 different gnomes, the Easter gnome and the St. Patrick's Day gnome. And I might even throw in a third of just the beer gnome, where he's just holding a beer mug. I don't know yet. So, but if you want one of these prizes today, all you have to do is type pound I want one and press enter in the comments, and that's it. So it is the number sign And what is that? That is shift 3. So pound, I want one. All one word. Pound, I want one. And you're in the raffle. So it's going to be an automated raffle
like
that's going to
that.
be done. Just, yep. Okay. So there we go. It's starting to come up now. But Laser Maker's Realm will be disqualified if they win.
Yep.
So
that was demo.
yeah.
Now does Chris need to do it again? He put spaces in there.
Yeah. No spaces. No
Yeah,
spaces, Mary.
Chris, do that again.
Mary too. No spaces. And T-Man's Woodshed. Do it again. There's no spaces.
GBS, WS, you got to spell out the one. There
Yeah,
you go.
it's the pound sign. I want ONE. I want one. All one word. No spaces. And it doesn't matter how many times you do it. You're only going to get one entry. So there we go. I think everybody's getting it now. I want one. Take a look at the comments if you're unsure whether you did it right. If you don't think that you did it right, do it again. It won't increase your chances of winning. And we're going to leave this run now until the end of the show today, which is another about 10 minutes or so.
I have the finished acrylic piece up on the screen.
So far, we've got 30 entries. Hang on a second. I'll put you up and make you bigger.
That's good.
Oh, that's nice.
That's nice. I like that.
Yeah.
So there's a business card. It's on a business card for scale. 35 millimeter round.
Very nice.
And then show you the 3D effect.
Now you just need one of those multiple color 3D printers and you can print those, right? I wonder how that would work with some Laser Max. You know, with the different colors, 2 different colors.
Yeah, I was thinking, just glue some 2 different colors or 3 different colors of acrylic together and then be able to fine tune it. Anyway, I think it looks pretty good.
I've already got a lot of you guys taking advantage of the free files, and there's one in particular that I'm curious about, and I'm trying to find the screen name on here, but I'm gonna guess maybe he goes by Kenny. And Kenny, do you have an ultralight airplane that you fly? If you're Kenny and you know who I'm talking about, because I believe I know you're local, but I'm curious if you're the one. I built an ultralight airplane and flew it around a little bit, and that'd be really cool to find out I got a fellow laserologist and also a pilot.
Yeah, Jim, there's no real way to test your diode to see if it's losing power unless you have a diode tester. They're very expensive. You can pick up a toy one on eBay for about $200 that doesn't really work well, but the real diode testers, the real laser testers are like $3,000. So the best way to tell is to take a file that you created when the laser was brand new and rerun it with those same settings, the engrave and cut settings, and see if it engraves properly and cuts out properly. Yeah, Jerry, we know about your Bamboo Labs.
I want a Bamboo Labs.
Jerry wanted one for the longest time. He was hustling up donations on his channel for the Bamboo Labs, and he finally got it too.
Good. He's making some really cool stuff with it too.
Yeah.
So I'm glad he got it.
Yeah. Yeah, they should have gave him one for free because it's going to be on all of his live streams.
Oh yeah. Yep.
All right, so we're down to the last 5 minutes of the stream today.
Army Dogs.
Army Dogs is sending his.
Yeah, he's already claiming it, marking it as mine.
Well, you don't know where to send it to yet.
Yeah.
Oh, and actually, I have to go get that address. Hold on a second.
Thank you, Thomas, and somebody else made a comment. Sharon, thanks. Appreciate that. I spent the day Thursday evening and Friday trying to dial in settings and get the 3D engraving to come out on the acrylic without burning it or going too deep, and coming out looking smooth and almost polished. And it was worth the time because I think so far everything's looking great.
Is that done with just a whole bunch of passes to get down in there?
Lots and
Yep,
lots and lots of passes.
Using Lightburn 3D Slice. Like the medallion that I had on the necklace was like 150. This one was 75.
Okay.
All right, so here we go. We're going to do a share the screen here. You guys can see that?
Sir, yes, sir.
All right, so we have 34 entries. And the first, let's see, for Steve, how many are you giving away?
We're going to do three unlimited coupons.
All right, so let's do that right now. So these first three are going to be for Steve. And we're going to hit draw on the first one. There is no substitute. Okay, that is winner number one. Congratulations. I can't see the rest of it.
Stacy.
Stacy. Okay, so that's the first one. Let's do the second one. Now, this you'll be sending your information, your email address to hobowithwood@gmail.com. Here comes the second one. Jim Morgan. Jim Morgan, send your email address to hobowithwood@gmail.com. That's winner number two. And here comes winner number three. William McKee. William McKee, send your email address to hobowithwood@gmail.com.
All right, and before you move on, let's see here. I was on there a second ago. Somebody was saying they can't find where to go and find the free files. You go to hobowithwood.com, go into shop, and once you go into shop, there's a section for digital files and a section for just actual products. But click on the SVG, Lightburn, DXF, AI image there. That's the digital files. So hobowithwood.com, shop, and then digital files.
Okay.
And that's where you find the files if you're getting the free downloads today.
All right. So all the winners so far, send your email address to hobowithwood@gmail.com. All right. So next is going to be for Patrick. Patrick, how many drawings are we going to have?
One.
One drawing for the free files, two files for the business card template. So here we go. And again, Stacy again. So Stacy, send your email to, go ahead, Patrick.
Sales@lightsource.pro.
Sales@lightsource.pro. Sales@lightsource.pro. Okay, so here we're going to have the final three drawings today, and that's going to be for my Easter Gnome, and this is going to be flat packs that are going to be mailed to you. So here we go with number one. Sharon Simonson. Okay, congratulations.
Congratulations, Sharon.
Send your mailing address, your shipping address, including your phone number, name, address, phone number to the LA Hobby Guy at gmail.com. Again, the LA Hobby Guy at gmail.com. Put in there flat pack in the subject line. All right, Sharon is the first winner. And remember, folks, you have to claim these prizes within 24 hours of the stream. So here comes the second one. And Malverde Designs. Malverde Designs. Send your name, your shipping address, phone number to the LA Hobby Guy at gmail.com. Put whatever I said in the subject line. You could put winner or gnome or whatever. And we're going to go for the third one now. And don't forget, do that within 24 hours. And the final one goes to Jim McCall. All right, Jim. So, Jim,
everybody.
Send your name, your mailing address, phone number to the LA Hobby Guy. You already have my email address. I think I've already got yours. So that's it for the prizes today. Don't forget, folks, send your name and your email address for Steve and Patrick. And for me, if you won one of the flat packs, your name, address, phone number to the LA Hobby Guy at gmail.com. And put something in the subject line so I remember it, like gnome or contest or live stream or whatever, just so that I know it's from the live stream. And the reason why we ask you to claim this within 24 hours and be here for the drawing is because we get kind of backed up as time goes on. People don't send us that information. I still have, what was that one from 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago, your hold down pins.
Yeah, the hold downs.
Yeah, for one person. What was the name again?
Names to remember.
Names to remember. I forgot. So names to remember. Your package is still sitting here in the other office next door, waiting to be mailed out because I don't have your information. So send me an email, the LA Hobby Guy at gmail.com, and let me know that information so I can mail that out to you. So by the next live stream, if I haven't heard from you by then, I guess I'll give them to someone else on the next live. So
and before we wrap it up,
yeah.
Patrick, are you going to the expo with Lightburn?
Yes.
Okay, so we all plan to be at the expo with Lightburn, and we'll have a booth set up for the Sunday show, so that if you haven't already planned, make plans, come out, say hi, say hello.
So that is going to be October 27th to October 29th in Peoria, Illinois. It's called LBX, the Lightburn Experience. And I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on this, but I am pretty sure that they're going to be announcing a new name for Lightburn. And I think they're going to also be announcing CNC support. So it's going to be an exciting time to be there. Everybody's hoping for the CNC support. Jason has hinted toward it in some of the answers that he's given to the question. And I know for certain that they are definitely changing the name of the software, not the name of the software, but the slogan behind it. What is the slogan right now? A better laser experience or something like that? Well, I don't know what
for laser cutters or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I think it is. So better software for laser cutters. They're going to be, I know they're going to be changing the name eventually, but Jason does have planned to have Lightburn branch out to a whole bunch of different types of machines, other than laser cutters. William, the dates are the 27th to the 29th of October. You can go to lightburnsoftware.com. And I think there's a link there where you can buy tickets. They also have a discount code at the hotel there. So you can get all signed up now if you want to attend the Lightburn Experience. There will be a craft show on Sunday, and I think all three of us are going to share one booth there and be selling some of our items at the craft show. So if there are no more questions, we're going to call it a wrap for today. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Patrick, for being here today. And thank you all, especially all the people in the contest, all the people making comments, and all you viewers out there. If you're watching the rebroadcast of this live, thank you for watching. We appreciate your support. See you in
Very
2
much.
weeks.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
See you later, everybody.